There is not very much awareness outside of Manchester that actually a bomb took place. It seems it's just like slipped into the back of people's memory, or they're just not aware of it.
The bomb became something that was almost private to Mancunians.
Other areas of the country don't seem to realise just what a big incident it was.
First of all, it started very early in the morning because it was a beautiful Saturday morning. The sun was shining, town was very busy.
We were made aware by Greater Manchester police officers that an incident was ongoing in the city centre. They'd had a coded warning from the IRA, and that a vehicle bomb was believed to be in the city centre.
I went down to security, and the security guard said he'd had a warning from the police that there was a bomb going to go off. And I said, it must be that truck over there. So I said, that's a bomb, that. To this guy, he said, is it? I said, it certainly is.
After about an hour, we heard there was an actual bomb, and that it was in such a state it could not be moved safely. We were, in that case, moved up to Piccadilly. We were there waiting. When it went off, we saw all the buildings lift.
I was in a pub, you know, just down the road here. And in Northern Ireland, what you do is draw the curtains.
People in Kendals, which had not been shut, a lot of them were cut with flying glass from the door and the windows, which were shattered. Fortunately, near to Marks and Spencer's, which, as you know, was the site of the bombing, the office people were in next door answering the phones on a Saturday morning. And those people, although they suffered shock, no one was actually injured, and they were right in the vicinity of the bomb.
The story of the bomb in Manchester, you know, if I was to attempt to sum it up, it was the biggest bomb detonated in mainland Britain in peacetime. So, you know, this was a £30,000 bomb. The consequence of that was that one person was detained in hospital overnight. All of the injured were walking injured, and essentially 80,000 people survived a bomb attack.
I have a little version of Manchester in my head, and there was an explosion in my head, sort of thing, and I needed to sort of heal it.
December 1941 was the Manchester Blitz, so for people of my parents' generation, they'd seen the city in similar ways twice in their lifetime. So the consequence of the bomb was to do more with finding new ways around the city and becoming familiar with a city that had been really severely damaged.
I don't think people were bowed down by it at all. We're sort of 10, 12 years on now. You know, you look and think what it used to be like. I mean, this city 20, 30 years ago was quite a depressing city to be in architecturally. It wasn't the vibrant city it is now. So to have the opportunity to rebuild in the centre and to kind of have a city centre that now is genuinely a kind of, you know, a world city, I think has to be a good thing ultimately.
Manchester did not need a bomb to regenerate it. The regeneration would have happened anyway. And if you go to Leeds or Liverpool, they've also had regeneration, and they haven't had bombs. So this idea that the IRA did Manchester a favour, I found actually offensive, because it seems to let the criminals off the hook.
At the time, the IRA were trying to make a statement, but I know that a number of warnings were given, and that they were warning people that they weren't clearing the area enough. So that, to me, makes it seem that they didn't want to cause death or serious injury, but they wanted to cause collateral damage.
The bomb went off literally 50 yards along the road here. The huge domes that you see above us here, all the glass went in that. They were really badly damaged and had to be replaced. But as a result ironically, of the damage. It meant that the whole place could be reinvigorated, refurbished in the sense, in the way it is now.
I think it was a horrible thing to happen, obviously. It was a lot of people could have lost their lives, and we were very lucky that no one did. But I must admit that knowing the city before the bomb, it did spark a lot of regeneration, which was good for Manchester.
As much as it's made out of bricks and mortar and steel and glass, a city's actually made out of ideas, and a city's made out of the ideas that people have of it. And in the course of that period of time after the IRA bomb, the city of Manchester began to learn a little bit more about its own identity.
Manchester is now a vibrant city. It is for young people.
The identity of the city feels somehow more muscular and more characterful, and part of the rehearsal of that and part of the building of that, only a part, but nevertheless an interesting part, was June 1996.
I don't feel that there's very much trauma. I'm sure there was for the people who are injured.
If we know who did it, why aren't they serving sentence for having done it?
I believe that part of this incident was looked at and it became part of the peace agreement.
We now have a city centre that is truly European, truly cosmopolitan, and I don't think that would have happened had it not been for the bomb.
It's just simply not true to say that the bomb has brought about the regeneration. That's definitely not the legacy. I'm not quite sure what the legacy of it is, really.